but there's some English people, so I'll just go between the two. Normally I go sideways and I talk about everything. Today I want to focus on two things. One is Becky Tselle's talk to the ad hoc committee. I would like to go to that committee and talk to them. It's very important that you understand what is happening here regarding that, but let me get to my script, otherwise everybody knows that I get lost. You know that I have to go to best office and you have to take that into account. So let me just get to my script. Okay. So thank you very much for the media today. I think I would like to just respond to former Police Minister Becky Tselle's allegations regarding me at our committee of the Parliament, the Madlanga Commission and so on. I quote him saying there's a guy called LL. Only Zamazamas call me LL, so that tells you a lot. LIEBENBERG is a king of Zamazamas. Thank you very much, Mr. Tselli. I didn't know that myself. He cleans diamonds. Well, okay, let's just stop there. I don't know what he's trying to say. And everything he has millions and millions. He funds the MK party. Minister Tselle further alleged that LIEBENBERG paid 500,000 for a private legal case linked to the party. That was $1 million. It wasn't 500,000, there was more cases. But I'll get to that. A certain Alpha Ramatswane, he writes that the MK spokesperson in Ladla insists that the MK party has no links to LIEBENBERG, and that is written by IOL. I'll speak to Dr. Eghdal's survey of the Independent News and Audrey van Zyl that I've dealt with on numerous occasions, and I'll try and rectify that terrible, inaccurate reporting. What is the truth about the status of Louis? I had to, up to the time of the incarceration on 2210, the mine management agreement for the largest mine in the Northern Cape, consistent of 144,000 hectares. Jacques Poe hasn't got a clue what large mining is all about. I produced 62,000 carats of diamonds in the last 2 years. That's just before my incarceration. From this mine at Queenhouse, Kleinseer, Buffelsbank and so Buffelsbank was extra. Of seven permits approved by the DMR in Kimberley as well as Pretoria. Also since 2019, I was 100% shareholder of Buffelsbank. That was the flagship mine of Transsex, Christo, Lisa and the boys. The flagship mine was 480 hectares, and before that, since 2004, I was the largest independent marine miner for the state alluvial mine company, Elix Corp, with 11 boats and 9 shoreline operations and 60 divers with offices in Cape Town, Johannesburg and Port Nolloth. I haven't arrived yesterday on the scene. Before my incarceration, I employed 89 full-time staff at the mine and 129 artisanal miners that they would like to call Zamazamas. But the whole idea of getting the Zamazamas approved on permits, the state seemed to miss, and they just go on with this Vala Mbori, whatever the hell they want to call it, in this South Africa. So, and I had cutting and polishing works, a media company, radio, and the Bar 8 Media Publishing House, and the largest poetry and writing groups in South Africa. I'm not a diamond dealer, but I employ staff who does that in various companies, in total more than 300 staff members. We traded more than 62,000 carats of legally produced diamonds at a mine. I know the media does not want to see me as a mining person, but unfortunately, you can't deny. If the devil is a reality, you better call him the devil, you can't call him something else. And upwards of 7,000 carats of polished diamonds and legal, nothing illegal. I haven't bought a single diamond from Nama Zamas or Kimberley Zamas or anybody else since 2019, when in De Beers, Kimberley High Court, it was ruled that De Beers went back on their word. They gave their word to the Nama people, went back on their word with the elephant. Sorry, ek spoeg vir jou. Mariska, jy was daar, jy was saam met my daar, saam. Ek het gekoop tot dan. And daarna, I didn't buy anything because it was then declared. They went back on their word. They said, listen to DMR. It's despite what Willie said, they started this story, and obviously Rupert or somebody gave them the instruction. Now, I was called, this is important media, I was called to the townhouse of Jacob Zuma's daughter. I know there's a dispute in terms of her being his daughter, but I was introduced all the time as Nkandla and everywhere that she's his daughter, Ntumbele Tembe. Best friends of Minister Lindiwe Zulu and business partner of mine in the mine. Weeks before the ANC conference in 2022, to see first the Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Mhlanga Mkhwanazi. My relationship with the President Zuma and the MK was the matter on the table. I explained that in detail and why I paid the VBS bank debt of Nkandla. Now, one of the problems is that accused 8 is running away and he doesn't admit what he has done. Okay, so, sorry, let me just get back to that. So this meeting was recorded by myself, guys. It was recorded. Now let me tell you, no, I've got another 10 minutes. Let me tell you something about recording. This is what I've done. I put a camera in my button, and you can check. We've got those things. One of the things I'm concerned about is the state hiding a lot of these things. So then I was called again to see the National Commissioner of Police, Fanny Musumela. The meeting was recorded again and attended by my son-in-law, Ernst van der Westhuizen, a chartered accountant who did work for us at the time. Once more, my relationship with the MK and President Zuma was discussed. A certain Mandla Kaba was introduced to me by Rejoice, who accompanied the Commissioner. After 15 minutes, the Commissioner stopped me and said he knows exactly who I am. He said, Beketsele is sitting in the white Porsche outside, and he wants 5 million cash now. And the Commissioner wants 5 million rand cash now. I must fetch it. He also asked my son-in-law to wait for me outside in my 400 GLE SUV Mercedes that Ronel drove before. And we came, so I excused myself and went into the bathroom and made sure that my recording equipment was in working order. I had to hand 3 phones to the 2 men sitting outside in a BMW, not unknown to me, but still had 1 phone and a recording device with me. So I then went to the Mercedes and fetched 200,000 rand, and I gave it to Rejoice in front of the Commissioner and Mandla, stating the balance will be given to the Commissioner the following day. Mandla said that he will bring a bakkie of his security company up from KwaZulu-Natal to fetch. I then left and joined Desi and her daughter and friend across the road at a restaurant. I was in shock. The following morning, I called Walter Niedinger, my attorney, to my office at the airport, and also General Shadrack Sabia, at that stage the head of organized crime. Upon General Sabia's arrival, I put my phone on speakerphone and phoned Rejoice. She was still expecting the 9.8 million. I asked her who the men were that I met with her. So it's on speakerphone, General Sabia, Walter, accused number 8, listening. Said it was the she repeated it was the National Commission of Police and Mandla that used to do security for President Zuma, her dad. She said, me and Desi, we must see the Minister Zulu that afternoon and she will have Mandla there. Upon asking her again if it was the National Commission, she confirmed, I know him personally. I ended the call and requested General Sabia to investigate. General Sabia. Walter would assist. I then removed the balance of diamonds and cash from our office that was still there and at the various different locations. 6 days after this date, we had a break-in of 6 armed robbers who pulled our Lionsgate security company. Now, Desi owns 60% of Lionsgate. Vaughan doesn't want to do anything about it because he knows Jerome will get to him. And Jerome has got the 40% and Wally the other 40%. Jerome is under cover of Paul O'Sullivan. So obviously a safe situation there. You would have seen it with a rugby player that died in his club and so on. So Lionsgate had 28 sites and also 24 to 40 security staff at a time at the mines in Namaqualand up to my incarceration. Now, I need to address these things because Madiba was talking about this exact situation that's going to occur in South Africa. He also hated the evil that was happening in KwaZulu-Natal. So, and that's also the reason there's no Zulus on the top 7. So the head of the Hawks in the Northern Cape We need to talk to them. We need to talk to General Mbuela. I see that they say all the time that I met with General Libya. I never met with him. I spoke to this man all the time. General Sabia has visited my house. He's introduced me to an advocate. He has been around, so nobody can deny that. Colonel Dani Brewer, our investigating officer, is most definitely involved in the 52 million rand gold and diamonds that was stolen from our house by Mike Bolles, Hein Jooste, and Jacques de Prieur. Jacques has already admitted to it. Who has helped sell those things was Newman, our spokesperson, and obviously this Corneille that just came and he said he's a joint venture partner and he just started doing his own thing. And all these things are suppressed by Bolles that I paid 3.8 million, 1.8 million in cash. I again emphasize that every single important meeting I had was recorded by camera. So my Bolles come, wat sal jy sê? Die Afrikaners praat kak en doen al die goedetjies. In this case, I don't. And I will say to the state that after 8 to 10 years, you will see that what I said was true, that the Hawks were stealing money. The Hawks were stealing money. They stole, in this case, 215 million on a 252A with Tian. Tian was with you. He raped Amory Kemp. They're covering that. Colonel Veldsman from the Free State. They're covering whatever the truth is, but eventually the truth will prevail. I told you all the time that this guy from A is Switch is a problem. I told everybody, how can he not speak to me and then suddenly just stop the A Switch without any consultation? I saw him 2 times, the one time, and he was sponsoring your friend, Veronica van Dijk. You remember that. He was sponsoring a whole day at the Buskus, or if you want to do it another letter a bit earlier in the alphabet, that will be fine as well. The fact of the matter is, 215 million. Now, we've got another problem. The other Connect to Fire guys from Clarksdorp that then took over our wallets, took the other money that was still left there. I've been trying, they came and visited Desi and so on. Now guys, I want to say to the state, it's a dangerous game we are playing in South Africa with people's lives. I've been working with Zama Zama since 2004. I'm not sponsoring Zama Zamas. I have a very particular relationship with 12 leaders of the Zama Zamas. I've got 30,000 people on a database of Zama Zamas, their addresses, where they come from. These people are unemployed. They work for De Beers. They work for the state. They work for Transex. The very same Christa Visa and the guys that took our concessions away now. If Jacques Poe can do such a great analysis, which he's done, about the situation, but he comes to a conclusion that Kimber is the shining star, whilst he took 150 million, took 40 million from us. And you can go and speak to all subcontractors in the Makwaland and see how they've lost money, how they've been chased away, how they've lost equipment. And Vaughan Victor is selling. Now, I'm very glad that Vaughan's Victor girlfriend told him to buy my painting at the auction for 9,500 rand. It's only worth 500 rand, really, because that's what it's cost to make. But she told him that she wants a real man in a bedroom, and it is now posted on top of their double bed. Beautiful. Vaughan, just get a 2.7 meter longer one. I need to get in there. Thank you so much. Do you want questions? Yes.